What's going on, everybody? It's not Fruit Punch, it's not even Grape Punch, it's me, Sunset Punch. Hope you all are doing well and staying safe during these crazy times. I know I'm doing great myself, and I'm actually pretty excited. The second album is almost complete, and I need 2 more songs left. Then I no longer need to create any more compositions. I cannot wait for the album to be over, and I cannot wait for you all to see. You know, speaking about C's, it would only make sense to show you all the C chord in this week's Chord of the Week. The C chord is a unique sounding chord. I personally believe it's one of the most elegant sounding chords on the guitar. Funnily enough, I do not have that many songs in the key of C, except maybe one song that I can think of from the top of my head. Here is how you finger a C chord on the guitar. Alrighty, for the C chord, you're not going to be using the low E string. You're going to be using the other 5. Okay? So on the thickest string left, which is the A string, you're going to put your ring finger on the 2nd fret. 3rd fret, my bad. 3rd. Now on the 2nd thickest string, which is the D string, you're going to put your middle finger on the 2nd fret. Now with the nickel string right here, or the G string, you're going to have that one open. And then finally, you're going to have the B string, which is right here, on the 1st fret. And then on the high E string, you're going to have that one open. So, once you put all of your fingers down, go ahead and give her a strum. See? I told you it's a beautiful chord. My voice cracked. And that's how you finger a C chord. For this week's topic of the week, I'm going to be explaining the meaning behind one of my songs. For this episode, I'm going to be talking about My Best Friend, a song you can find on the Sunrise EP, a small collection of songs that I made after One-Eyed Greatness, my first album.
There's a million people living under the sun, but out of all of them, no one will ever be you.
I personally would say that this is the only song that I've written that really has no kind of humor or snarkiness to it. It's probably the only serious song that I have right now. This is a song I wrote for my dad, who unfortunately passed away in 2018. As a matter of fact, this coming Friday is going to be the 3rd year from when he passed. I actually wrote My Best Friend about 4 months after he passed, but I did not try making it into a song until last year. Although it still hurts, I just like to keep going on and continue to make him and my family happy. I mean, if it wasn't for my dad, I probably would have not learned how to play guitar or any kind of other instrument. Also, I think this is one of the few songs that I have written that does not have any kind of drum track or any kind of percussion instruments. Even though I initially wanted to have drums in the track, I'm really glad I didn't follow through with it. I feel like not having drums in the track really emphasizes like the rawness and like the emotion that I have of the song, since it is like a kind of a touching song. But personally, I really cannot wait to work without any kind of percussion in future songs. Speaking about the future though, how about we take a look at this week's Future Look? Alrighty, For this week's Future Look, I'm going to be talking about a song that I just finished writing last week. The song is called The Strawberry Jam. Here is how the song sounds. The Strawberry Jam is a small jazzy instrumental that I wrote for the new album. I am planning to use the song in the album as some sort of an interlude, kind of like in the middle. Just like One Girl, I wrote the Strawberry Jam in its entirety first by analyzing the drum track. I heard the drum track before I started recording all of the other instruments. I made the song with an overall jazzy tone because I really truly appreciate jazz music. As a matter of fact, I even played the bass guitar when I was a junior and senior in high school. Unfortunately, the song is only going to be on Soundcloud and on YouTube, and it will not be on any other major streaming platforms until the album is released. Since I'm talking about jazz like I'm Barry B. Benson, how about we go ahead and check out this week's Album of the Week? I didn't forget. This week's Album of the Week, to keep up with the jazzy theme that we had for this week's Future Look, it would only make sense to have a jazz album that I listened to constantly when I was in high school. For this week's Album of the Week, I'm going to be choosing A Legendary Performer by Glenn Miller and his orchestra. A Legendary Performer by Glenn Miller and his orchestra is a jazz compilation album by legendary jazz artist Glenn Miller. Some of my favorite songs on the album are Moonlight Serenade, In the Mood, and Little Brown Jug. I think the first time I ever heard of Glenn Miller was actually in an episode of American Dad. I think the song Pennsylvania 65000 made an appearance, and after I heard that little snippet of the song, I instantly fell in love with it. After hearing that song, I started immediately listening to Glenn Miller's other work, which broadened my horizon to jazz music. All of this stuff happened when I was in my vinyl record phase. I would literally just keep buying vinyl records, which is why you see me pull up with some of them in the Album of the Week. But I would have to say I was really glad that I picked up a record from Glenn Miller, because he really expanded my horizon, and he really just got me more interested to jazz than I already was. I actually picked up the album from Macari, that really weird phone app that you can get on your phone, and it's like online shopping from different other sellers. It's pretty great considering the fact that, jazz is cool, jazz is dying, but jazz is awesome. Well, unfortunately, it seems like our time has just up and gone and ran on out of here. So I hope you all have a great weekend. I hope you all have a great week. As far as gigging so far, I don't have any news, I'm not gonna lie, but I am gonna be on it more whenever I finish up with the album, which is really, really soon. And hopefully within the next 2 or 3 vlogs, I can actually have a release date with the album. And I would love for you guys to just hear it. It's actually pretty great. It's gonna be great. But for the time being, you can stream all of the songs so far on Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, Apple Music, YouTube Music, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Deezer? It really doesn't matter to me, but what does matter to me though is that you all stay schwanky.